Hey Faithful, welcome to another episode of Voice of a Niner Faithful. I'm Jason, your host. This week we'll be talking about the last preseason game against the Chargers and maybe just a quick touch on what's going to happen this coming week. So let's get into it. But first, of course, hopefully you guys will do me a small favor and like, comment, and subscribe so you get more fan-based 49er content. Yeah, I'm just like the regular average everyday fan. Don't have the full access to everything everybody else does. You know, the whole Lombardi thing or Mayoko thing, or even if you can't count Grant Cohn as a legitimate person. I just listened to one of his episodes for the first time just so I can be objective, say I listen to other people and all that, and wow. All I can say is wow. 50% of the time he's not even talking about the Niners. He goes off on some weird tangent. I think that's his thing, kind of shock jocking-ish. But anyway, so like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. So, got my notes. Of course, we got to talk about Jake Moody. Sure, against the Raiders, he made that 59-yard field goal. But here, he misses an extra point. And he shanks a bad punt. Really? I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if the 49ers are planning on trying to keep him, checking him out first half of the season, first quarter of the season, whatever. But if they do that, just everyone needs to remember, keep in mind, I'm sure John Lynch has speed dialed to a number of other kickers. Greg Joseph, for instance. They're out there. They're available to come get. So if during the season Moody is still doing this, then I can see that they would call somebody else and release Moody. It's a big investment that they put in Moody with the being a third-round pick. They're trying to get their money's worth. I think that's the only reason that he's still here. I like Moody. I really want to pull for the guy. I mean, come on. But you got to show some improvement, not being consistent. So let's hope for his sake and the team's sake that during the season he actually is consistent and we can move on. But if he isn't, Lynch, you got your phone handy. So what else happened? There was we had that muffed punt recovery. The Chargers dropped the punt and we jumped on it, which was awesome. Good special teams. This is showing the special teams is making huge improvements from last year and the year before, for that matter. And then, of course, that strip sack that we had against us, unfortunately. That, I think, was more the O-line not being able to stop the defense. I don't blame the quarterback on that. That is definitely something that the 49ers need to improve on. I think it has gotten slowly better, but remember who was in there at the time. It wasn't like a bunch of starters or anything, so. More plus side, fumble recovery. And then, of course, Jeff Wilson Jr. touchdown. That's just, it's going to be really hard for the 49ers to cut Jeff Wilson. I think he's going to make the 53. But somebody that might, more than likely, to me anyway, get cut, and unfortunate, is Junior Bergen. His muffed punt didn't help his case at all. I think, unfortunately, maybe if somebody doesn't pick him up, maybe they'll pick him up for the practice squad. but I don't see him making the 53. The Curtis Robinson pick 6. Oh my God, that was awesome. I mean, it was like he was the intended receiver. But yeah, it that's going to help his case for sure. I think what he needs is more of that very thing. And he was paying attention. He was watching the quarterback. He knew where he needed to be, and it showed. And his progress through preseason and training camp, it shows. I think he can make it. So after that, we had another muff punt recovery, which was awesome. And TO touchdown. We've all heard that before in the past, if you're old enough to have seen that. But this time it's not Terrell Owens, it's Tariq Owens. Now, will that touchdown help solidify him to a 53-man roster spot? I don't think so. I think they'll try to get him back on the practice squad, which I think one more year on the practice squad, and he could make it next year. I really hope he does. I mean, I love the whole legacy, being on the same team as your dad. I would have loved to seen Frank Gore Jr. back over here, but it looks like he's doing really good with the Bills. But yeah, it's unfortunate that I don't think he'll make the 53, but I do foresee him getting on to the practice squad. And which means that there is a slight chance that during the season somebody gets hurt and he has to get, they pull him up to the main roster. It's possible. So never count that out. So let's hope for more Tariq Owens in the future. Hope he gets better. Hope he makes the 53 at some point in his career. So the game all around was just what it was meant to be. It was the last shot for a lot of these players to show, hey, I deserve a shot at the 53. Unfortunately for some of them, probably a decent chunk of them, they'll be cut. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's just cut off the 53. There's still the 16 spots on the practice squad. You can say 17, but that 17th spot is more for the I think it's that exchange thing with foreign players. So I think that's kind of the freebie, or I don't know if that's for the practice squad or is that 53-man roster plus that. But there's that position out there too. So a lot of these players will come back, but a good chunk of them are going to get poached. I'm hoping Moss doesn't get poached because I don't see him making the initial 53. I think I'm seeing him going to the practice squad. I don't think they'll give him the 53-man roster spot, but he's shown so much promise that I really hope we get him on the 53-man roster, but he could easily get poached. I foresee that we're going to poach other players, maybe some offensive linemen, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, Tuesday is the day for the main 53-man roster. Hey, you got to be down to 53. But there's no point in saying that that's the 53-man roster. I'll go into my next episode next weekend, Labor Day weekend, and go over what they have at that point, because I think that's the true 53-man roster. There's going to be too many people. They make the 53. They're going to put some people on IR. They're going to shuffle some people around. They're going to claim people off waivers. They're gonna there's so much moving around, moving parts going on within from Tuesday to the weekend. So we can't really judge that first 53. So next weekend on my show, I'll go over who's on, who made it, who didn't, where they went, and then we can make a definite call on the first game of the season. Now, if you want, I can make an attempt at a live show. I don't know if I can try to do it live with, if I do 2 cameras, I can do live on, YouTube and TikTok, one camera here, one camera here, because I don't know how to do it, not yet anyway, just going through like what I'm using right now. It's called OBS Studio. So, but we'll see what I can pull off. Maybe if you guys want me to go live, let me know. Put it in comments wherever you're watching this, and I'll make that an effort. I'll go live. I don't know if you want me to go live during the game, because I can't obviously show what's playing. That would be uncool. YouTube would definitely see that as a copyright infringement thing. So I can have it on in the background. I'm sure they can't say much about it. You hear it in the background, but you can't watch it. But you'll be watching it too with me, so I'm hoping at least. So let me know if you want me to go live for that, and we'll talk during the game and go from there. So with that, yeah, shorter video this week, but sometimes that's cool. Sometimes that's okay. Don't forget, this Thursday, 49ers Trivia Thursday. Every Thursday. If you want to hear about a particular player, if there's any trivia about somebody or a particular position, let me know and I'll look it up. I'll find something for you. Otherwise, I'll find something, pick something. Maybe I'll look it up. Maybe I have a book. I don't get everything from this book. I get some stuff from this book, but there it is. But I'll find something good, something exciting, something interesting. Try to figure out, maybe I'll find something about the first, trivia about the first game of the season. How's that? So look forward to that. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fan-based 49er content. Until next time, go Niners!